Hi, today we're going to be making a cream-based soup. It's cheddar cauliflower. And to start off, before we begin, please put your hair back so we don't get any hair in our food. A hairnet, hair tie, anything like that. And then wash your hands to begin. Very important to wash your hands. Okay, so now that we're ready, first and foremost, we need to chop our onions. This recipe requires a medium-sized onion, diced. So we'll go ahead and do that first. Little pieces. This is for our mirepoix, which means it's kind of like sautéing a vegetable in any kind of fat. So that begins any kind of soup that you make. This is the beginning. Usually this is how you start off the soup. So our fat is going to be butter, and this one requires 2 tablespoons of butter. So we'll put that in the pan first. Turn this on. We'll start heating that first. Then we'll finish chopping all our onions. So here's our butter. It's in the pot melting. And we're gonna go ahead and throw our onions in. And we'll just whisk it around until they're a little bit see-through. Again, this is called a mirepoix. Usually, when you make a soup, it requires a little bit more vegetables such as carrots or celery. But for this recipe, all we needed was some butter and the onions. So for this particular recipe, they requested that the onions would be a little bit golden. So kind of cooked them for about 10 minutes. And now we're ready for the next step, which is adding the flour. It's 1/4 cup of flour. We're going to stir that around, and we'll do 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to mix that up a little bit. It's going to look a little bit dry, but you want to just mix those flavors together. So this flour is going to thicken the soup. That's what the flour is doing in this soup. Then we're going to gradually add some liquid, which is regular milk, whole milk preferably, but you could use any kind of milk. And we're going to just stir that around. Get those flavors in there. Then we're going to add some water. So that's 2 cups of water. So basically this is going to be the base of the soup. All the liquid part, for that matter. And then, once you stir that all in, we're going to add some chicken broth. So that's some more flavor. So I have that here. So it's about 2 cups of chicken broth also. Add that in. And then we'll let that cook a little bit. Bring to a boil, and that's a few minutes. So now that the liquid is in, we're going to add our cauliflower, which was about 1.5 pounds of cauliflower. So we're just going to add that in. Right, we'll stir it up in here, and now this is going to cook and come to a boil, and we'll come back and see how that goes. Important thing to mention is that because this is a cream-based soup, this is milk, you have to be careful with the heat because milk tends to boil really fast, and you don't want this to spill over. So we're waiting for this to boil. Please be very attentive to the pot, because you don't want to walk away, because it will boil very fast. So it will boil over very fast. It takes a while to boil, but it'll boil over very fast. So let's keep an eye on it. Then as soon as you start seeing it bubbling and starting to boil, we're going to reduce the heat to about low to simmer, and then the next step will be to puree it, but that will come later. So let's just wait for this to boil and then put to simmer. So this boiled. You could see it was foaming and stuff. So now I'm going to put it on low and simmer until the cauliflower is very, very soft enough to blend it up. So that will take about 15 minutes. So cover it up and put it on low. Okay, so everything is tender. Next step is emulsion blender, or you can take this pot and put it into just a regular blender or a food processor, anything to blend it up. So I have an emulsion blender, and I'm going to shut off the heat. And please be very careful because it's really hot. So place it all the way down in there and just start really slow, just pulsing. Go up and down. Don't take the head out of the liquid, or else it's going to splash everywhere. So just and go up and down. I think I'm done. I see no chunks. It's nice and smooth. And now it is ready for the cheddar cheese. It's about 2.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and a half a teaspoon of dried mustard powder or Dijon mustard, a liquid. Either one, either a Dijon liquid mustard or a mustard powder, which I have right here. So I'm going to put this in, and then the cheddar. Just whisk it around in here. Get it all blended. After the mustard powder, last step is to throw in your beautiful cheddar cheese. This is what's going to make the soup thick and cheesy. I'm going to use a wooden spoon for this. Just stir it all in. Okay, now it's all stirred in. It is creamy and ready to be plated and garnished. Okay, now we're going to plate it. You might find a couple chunks here and there, but that is the best part. So here is the soup in the bowl. You want to clean up the edges when you do this before you serve it. You don't want any spills or anything. So you clean up the edges with a paper towel, and you can garnish any way you like. I like some fresh chives. I like fresh green onions. There's bacon, sour cream. You can put anything you'd like, some more cheddar on top. I just made it simple, just a little bit of green onions, and there you have it.